If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaves.
It's a peaceful day in the garden, one of Raymond's favorite places to be. He has dedicated over 25 years of his life developing a passion for gardening, a passion he hopes to share with future generations to come.
Those skills and that lore has been lost by one generation. And so it's kind of a personal goal of mine is to try to regain as much of that as possible and pass it on to other people. Behind that is where I had
Raymond has continued developing a few skills of his own over the years.
My approach to gardening is very organic. And instead of buying stuff, I collect things. So.
Raymond collects anything from horse manure to bags of leaves from the neighbors to even last night's dinner.
Once in our kitchen. And if you don't like bugs, composting is not for you. So I'm really a compost gardener. My gardening is about the compost. I'm always thinking about what can I bring in here to rot. You want to mix up a good soil, put in.
He also promotes organic gardening in a very cost-effective way to the community.
Assuming, but I don't spend very much in the way of materials, fertilizers, pesticides, anything like that. For the most part, everything I put in is free. Just takes time and effort. And then all of that will just be good stuff in the soil.
A little time and a little effort is the key to his teachings. Like most things in life, they just need a solid foundation to grow.
It's almost as if the plants and getting the produce out of it is just an outgrowth of taking good care of the soil. If you build your soil well, then something's going to grow.
Raymond values education and loves to teach others his philosophy at the North Richland Hills Community Garden, a garden he co-founded with longtime friend Diane over a year ago.
It was a busy year learning about starting a community garden and learning how to garden the right way, more earth-friendly.
Diane and Raymond at first had their doubts on starting a community garden.
We did a campaign just to find out who would be interested in a community garden in this location, and it was very overwhelmingly positive.
With over 72 plots, the gardeners here grow all sorts of vegetables, fruits, leafy greens, and flowers.
We have so many different gardeners who have so many different tastes that you can come to the garden in the spring and early fall and see just about anything that you'd normally see in a grocery store, and then a lot of different stuff that you don't know for sure what it is, but the gardeners just want to try it, and so it's an education.
The community garden has a goal to educate as well as give back to the community by donating a portion of their produce to the local food banks in the area.
In our first year, we almost got 1,200 pounds of food out of here.
And while education and outreach are some of the benefits to the community, the ones who benefit the most are the gardeners.
Even though Davis Boulevard is out here and you see the cars and you hear them whizzing by, when you're in this atmosphere and you're working your plot and you're with other people in the community doing the same thing, that part of the world seems to just kind of fade away a little, and you're in a peaceful place. So that is just therapy for me, and it is therapy for a lot of other people too.
Angie is a former gardener of the community garden who also enjoys gardening, but in her own way.
For me, gardening is not just a hobby, it's something I feel is very intrinsic to my well-being.
As a child, she moved around a lot with her military family, and gardening has always been her way to cope with being uprooted.
So I learned early on that having a little plot of earth for your own where you can grow things and make your house become a home made it seemed like it was more permanent.
Angie prefers an unstructured approach to gardening. It's much different from Raymond's composting methods.
You go into a very chaotic situation. You've got the weather constantly on the go, and you tend the plants and you bring order out of chaos. It brings me to life. It gives me something to nurture. It just feels more like an oasis of peace where I can spend my time and appreciate what all my labor has been able to accomplish.
Gardening takes on different roles in life, and the year-round process can be very rewarding.
You hold the soil in your hands, and when you look at it, all you see is possibilities.
Endless possibilities with just a little time and just a little effort can make a world of difference and go a long way. I'm Christina Ferris for NTTV News.